Whether it was group testing in 2022, group testing in 2020, whatever, 2025 is individualized, personalized tests. It's like an entire school being told, it's time to take an exam. Exam time has come around. It is exam time once more. The exams are going to be written on the 1st of November. Everybody gathers into the exam hall. Everybody takes a seat. And when you turn the exam paper over, it contains unique questions relevant only to you. Some people in that hall turn it over and find out it's a biology test. Some people turn it over and find out it's a health and fitness test. Some people turn it over and find out it's nothing but advanced calculus and math. Some people turn it out and find out that it's AP, advanced program literature. Everybody's looking around. Aren't we writing the same test? We are not. In 2025, we're going to find out that sometimes the only thing we have in common is that we're all human beings and we all claim we know Jesus Christ. We're going to be tested individually. One by one, I see people turning over their exam papers, and only some people are writing with golden pens, which means that God will give you the answer. God will give you the answer. God will give you quality responses to the unique difficulties and challenges that you might find along the way. And God is saying that some people are not going to have anything bothering them at all. Only advancements for you, he's saying. For some of you, golden pen people, it will just be like a breeze. You will be seeing how bad it goes for other people. You will feel compassion. You will feel sorry to see how bad it goes for other people. You're going to be getting news from people going, oh, my so-and-so died. You're going to be seeing the other person go, oh, me and so, we couldn't make it anymore. We're getting a divorce. You're going to be seeing all that as your bank loan comes through. You're going to be seeing that as you close on your house. Individualized, personalized tests. And no way to know until you're in the test what exactly you're being tested for. Whether it's your health that will come under attack, whether it's your reputation that will come under attack, whether it's your mind. The devil is going to be fighting some people for the sovereignty of their mind. Yes, men and women who wear suits to work are going to be battling for their sanity. They're going to be fighting against spirits of depression, spirits of suicide, brokenness, rejection, something that happened in their past when they were 11 years old, suddenly waking up and coming to fight them, wrestle them so strongly that they constantly are taking sick days, constantly taking time off work because they just feel at the apex of something. They feel at the edge of something as if they're going to snap. And yet these are high-powered executive types or just people who were previously normal finding themselves plunged, finding themselves just suddenly plunged into personal problems, personalized strains that they barely feel competent to fight against. Jesus is the only way. Jesus is the only way. The Lord is saying, whoever has been sidelining me up to this point, you are going to find yourself coming up to an impasse. An impasse. That is just basically a block. That is a checkpoint. That is a place where you can go no further. God says that all further progress is canceled until you bow your knee and confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Whoever has been making it, oh, I was getting to know more about Christianity. I was interested. Everybody, he says, who's been sidelining me, you who makes me an option. He says, I come up like an option on your menu. I come up like an option on your dashboard. Like one of the songs that you could play on a long drive. I'm going to commandeer that entire CD deck. You're not going to be able to play any song but Jesus. Until you bow your knee to me, you are not going further. All further progress will be canceled. All further progress will be canceled. You won't move any further. You won't move you won't go any higher. You won't be able to take the next step. You will not be allowed to make the next jump. You'll just be standing in place. You'll be standing in place and watching other people go forward. You're not going to be tolerated to go further without me anymore. A lot of people are going to make decisions for Jesus Christ because they'll realize that they can't make it without him. He says your stubbornness and your pride are going to be cut off. They're not going to be tolerated anymore for you to think that it's you and me in the driver's seat. And this includes Christians. There's a lot of Christians who think that for some reason they are God's co-pilot. And he says there's nothing like that. I am the Lord. He says it's not inside a man to know his own way. But how many Christians actually believe that? How many Christians actually think that they know what's best for them and all they have to do is pray it to God so that they can get a passport stamp? He says they want me to be their visa to whatever it is that they want to do. They think that all they need to do is lift up their voices in prayer and pray and say, God, this is what I want, and God, this is what I'm planning, and God, this is what I think. And they have absolutely no idea of the submission it takes, of the subservience it takes to actually become a true child of God. The letting go process is so hard for some of you to actually acquiesce, to actually bow your knee and say, Jesus Christ is Lord. They're near to me with their mouth, but their hearts are so far from me. They do not understand the concept of lordship. They do not understand the concept that what they have is actually mine. All of it is mine, that they are a steward operating at my pleasure. God says some people, he's saying some of you are not going any further without a true submission to me until Jesus is made Lord in your personal life, in your so-called sex life. Until you humble yourself, until you circumcise your heart, until you cut off that rod of pride that is on the inside of you. You're not going any further. You're going to find your whole life, all your plans, he says, your business designs, they're going to come to an abrupt halt. The investor will tell you, we're going in another direction. Everything was perfect. You had all agreed. You already signed 2 of the 4 agreements that you were supposed to sign to lock this thing up. These people are going to call you of a Saturday night and tell you, so-and-so and I have been thinking, and we're you know what, we're going in another direction. You can sue, but you're not going to win. You can sue them. You can say, oh no, breach of contract. You're not going to win. God is going to be on those people's side. The people who renege on you, the people who actually walk away from you, they're going to walk away from you, not because you're bad in business or whatever. They're going to walk away from you because God is going to retract the favor that you thought he was giving you because you were such a good child of God. You're not. You are not. You have been a tolerable child of God. This is what he's saying. The way you tolerate me is the way I've tolerated you. You've tolerated me as your God. He says, skin deep Christianity. Skin deep Christianity. Fingernail depth. Who can look at a fingernail and call it a deep thing? Who can say that a naturally growing fingernail, not a false nail, but the natural nails that we grow, who can say that it's a thing of depth? It's easily bitten off. It's easily clipped off. It's so shallow. He says, you've been tolerating me. You've been tolerating me in Christianity. Okay, I tolerate the idea of an all-supreme deity, but I'm still going to live on the ground as I want. I'm going to make the bread and butter decisions. I'm going to make the final decisions. I tolerate the idea of someone watching over me, okay. But when it comes to my day-to-day life, where I put my money, where I spend my time, what I give priority to, I'm in charge of that. I'm not surrendering that to anyone that I can't see. I talk to him and he doesn't answer me. I'm not doing all that. He says that's what is in the majority of your hearts. I'm not at the center. I'm actually at the periphery. I am not in the center of your hearts. I am not in the center of your minds. I am not in the center of your wills. You are in the center of your will. It is not my will as your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It is your will be done, and me watch you, or me rubber stamp through a very superficial prayer life. You're just going through the motions, really. He says you're ticking the boxes. That's what you're doing. So if anyone asks you, did you pray about this decision? You can say yes without lying. Yes, I did pray. But they will never know the quality of prayer that you prayed. Never, ever entertain the notion that I could tell you not to do something and you actually obey and not do it. He said you were never oriented that way, to leave the final decision up to me, to leave it up to me what direction you would take. You always knew you were going to go in your own direction, and you prayed the prayer to rubber stamp so that you could say, yes, I did pray about it. Wow, the Lord says it's just an olfactory Christianity. Olfactory is the process of using your sense of smell. He says it's a Christianity that you just sniff. You just sniff it. Imagine it is the picture of smelling food. You follow the smell of the food, expecting to see the food so you can partake of the food, and there's no food. He says you are like the fig tree, full of leaves, no fruit. There's nothing for me to eat. You give the appearance to others that it's fig season time. You give the appearance by how you look, how you talk, and how you move in the house of God, that you are a real Christian, full of fruit. Olfactory Christianity. You smell like one, but when I follow the scent to see where is the food producing the scent, he says there's nothing. It's basically just like these fresheners. You know how you can spray your house and it will smell like butter pecan? You spray your house and it will smell like blueberry cookie. All the names that they give the sprays. That doesn't actually mean that blueberry cookies have been baked in the house. You can follow the smell all day. It's coming out of a can. Canned Christianity. He says you can never enter into my rest like that. You have forgotten where you are heading. You are heading into my eternal rest. You can never enter into my eternal rest as a false Christian. You are a tear. You are a fig tree. You have the appearance of fruitfulness, but you are not actually fruitful at all. There's nothing in you. Your beauty is skin deep. It doesn't penetrate all the way down to the heart layer. We do not have a relationship, and therefore you will not be tolerated to go to the next level with a false Christianity. You will fall off. You will become the chaff, and the chaff is carried away by the winds. The winds are basically the tempestuous situations that will carry everyone who does not have spiritual weight. I'm telling you, you're going to see people caught in the fences of their own doing. The same way we see flies trapped in these electric fly traps and then they're just getting zapped and electrocuted, you're going to see people caught in the doings of their own hands. He says the manipulations of your own mind. The thing that you designed in your mind and you thought, I will do it this way and do it this way and I will come out with a huge benefit. You're going to do it that way and do it that way and come out with a massive deficit, a huge loss. You will design it and you will think this is perfect to get me to the next step. This is perfect. When I pull it off this way, it's going to get me promoted. God says it will get you demoted and in some cases kicked out altogether. Your own sin will find you out. Your own sin will catch you. Your own sin will publicly expose you. Your own sin will shame you. This is for the church. This is for the church that thinks her robes are so white. She thinks that her offerings to me are so pristine. She thinks that she has sacrificed the fattest calf and the fattest goat, not knowing she brings nothing more than chaff, which the wind will carry away.